Your AI agent just had a brilliant conversation with a user, solved their problem, understood their context, built rapport. Then the session ends. Next conversation? Complete amnesia. The agent has no idea who this person is or what happened 5 minutes ago. This is the memory problem. And it's why most AI agents feel like talking to someone with permanent short-term memory loss. Today, we're fixing that. We're building agents that remember not just what was said, but what it means, when it happened, and how it connects to everything else they know. Before we write a single line of code, let's establish our mental model. AI agent memory isn't one thing. It's 4 distinct systems working together. Short-term memory handles the current conversation context. Long-term memory persists knowledge across sessions. Episodic memory recalls specific past experiences with temporal context. And semantic memory stores general knowledge and facts independent of when they were learned. Each has different storage mechanisms, retrieval patterns, and computational costs. Let's map this out. Short-term memory in AI agents maps directly to the transformer's context window. It's the working memory, everything the model can attend to right now. But here's the constraint that drives every architectural decision. Context windows are finite and expensive. GPT-4 Turbo gives you 128k tokens. Claude offers 200k. Sounds like a lot until your 10 conversation turns deep with tool outputs, system prompts, and retrieved documents competing for space. The question isn't whether to manage this memory, it's how. The simplest short-term memory is a conversation buffer. Just append every message. LangChain's conversation buffer memory does exactly this. Clean, predictable, and it preserves full context. The problem? Linear growth. After 20 exchanges, you're burning tokens on, "Hello, how can I help you today?" From turn 1, for quick interactions this is fine. For anything longer, we need something smarter. A sliding window keeps only the last K messages. This caps your token usage but creates a hard cutoff. Information from message K plus 1 ago is simply gone. It's like having a conversation where you can only remember the last 5 things said. Works for simple Q&A bots, breaks badly when users reference something from earlier in the conversation. The fix? Combine it with summarization. Summary memory is the elegant middle ground. Instead of discarding old messages, you compress them. The LLM itself generates a running summary of the conversation so far. New messages are added in full, while older content lives on as a condensed summary. You're trading compute for context. Every few turns, you pay for a summarization call, but you preserve the essential information without the token bloat. The implementation requires careful prompt engineering for the summary step. The production-grade approach is token-aware memory. Instead of counting messages, you count tokens. Set a budget. Say, 4,000 tokens for conversation history. When you exceed it, trigger summarization or truncation automatically. This gives you predictable context usage regardless of message length. A user who writes paragraphs doesn't blow your budget any worse than someone sending one-liners. Now we leave the context window entirely. Long-term memory persists across sessions. When the user returns tomorrow, the agent remembers them. This requires external storage. The dominant approach today is vector databases. Embed text into high-dimensional vectors, store them, and retrieve semantically similar content later. Your memory isn't a list anymore. It's a searchable knowledge space. Let's build this. You need 3 components: an embedding model to convert text to vectors, a vector database to store and index them, and a retrieval strategy to fetch relevant memories. For embeddings, OpenAI's text embedding 3 small is the current sweet spot for cost versus quality. For the vector store, Pinecone handles the heavy lifting. Approximate nearest neighbor search at scale. The magic is in the retrieval. You embed the current query and find memories that live nearby in vector space. Storing memories is half the battle. Retrieval is where it gets interesting. When the user asks a question, you embed that query and search for similar vectors. The top K results become injected context for the LLM. But raw similarity search isn't enough. You need filtering. Retrieve only memories for this specific user. Filter by timestamp to prioritize recent information. Add metadata filters for memory type or topic. This is where your vector database earns its keep. Here's a problem nobody talks about until they hit it. Memory bloat. Every conversation turn becomes a memory. After 1,000 sessions, you have 100,000 vectors. Retrieval slows down, storage costs balloon, and worse, old redundant memories dilute the quality of your retrievals. The solution is memory consolidation. Periodically merge similar memories, delete duplicates, compress verbose memories into denser representations. Think of it as the agent's sleep cycle, processing and organizing the day's experiences. Semantic retrieval finds what's similar. But sometimes you need what's recent or what happened in a specific context. That's episodic memory. Memories tagged with temporal and situational metadata. When did this interaction happen? What was the user trying to accomplish? What was the outcome? Episodic memory answers questions like, what did we discuss last Tuesday? Or, how did we solve this problem before? It's the difference between knowing facts and remembering experiences. An episode isn't just a message. It's a structured record of an interaction. You need the raw content, yes, but also the timestamp, the session ID, the user's stated goal, the tools that were used, the outcome status, and any entities mentioned. This rich metadata enables powerful queries. Find all episodes where we use the database tool and the outcome was failure. That's debugging gold. The schema design determines what questions your memory can answer. Vector similarity alone won't handle temporal queries. You need a hybrid approach. Vector search for semantic relevance plus traditional indices for time-based filtering. Most vector databases support metadata filtering, but for complex temporal queries, episodes from last week where confidence was low, you might need a parallel SQL index. The pattern I use: store the episode in both systems, query both, merge the results. It's more infrastructure, but it's the only way to get both semantic and temporal retrieval right. Let's look at the retrieval patterns that actually matter in production. Pattern 1. Recency weighted search. Semantic similarity multiplied by a time decay factor. Pattern 2. Outcome filtered retrieval. Only successful episodes to learn from wins. Pattern 3. Entity-based recall. Find all episodes mentioning a specific project or person. Pattern 4. Session continuation. Retrieve the previous session's episodes when a user returns. Each pattern serves a different agent behavior. The fourth memory type is semantic memory. General knowledge independent of when it was learned. This isn't about what happened, it's about what's true. User preferences, domain facts, relationship maps. The natural structure here is a knowledge graph. Entities as nodes, relationships as edges. Sarah works on Project Alpha. Project Alpha has a deadline of March 15th. Sarah reports to Michael. This interconnected structure enables reasoning that flat vector search can't match. Neo4j is the production choice for knowledge graphs. The cipher query language lets you traverse relationships naturally. But here's the architectural insight. You're not replacing vector search. You're complementing it. Use the knowledge graph for structured queries about relationships. Use vectors for fuzzy semantic matching. The agent decides which memory system to query based on the question type. Who does Sarah report to? Goes to the graph. What do we know about the backend challenges? Goes to vectors. The power of graphs emerges in multi-hop queries. Find all people working on projects with deadlines this month. That's a traversal. Person to project via works on. Filter by deadline property. In vectors, you'd need to retrieve all projects, filter, then retrieve related people. Multiple round trips. In Cypher, it's one query. This is why semantic memory complements episodic. Graphs answer structural questions. Vectors answer similarity questions. Manually populating knowledge graphs doesn't scale. The production pattern is automated extraction. The LLM reads conversations and extracts entities and relationships. Every time the user mentions that Sarah is now leading the mobile team, the agent updates the graph. This requires careful prompt engineering. You need structured output, entity type, entity ID, relationship type, target entity, and you need conflict resolution. What happens when new information contradicts existing graph data? Now let's wire it all together. A production agent needs a unified memory interface that routes queries to the right system. Short-term context stays in the prompt. Long-term and episodic queries hit the vector store. Structural questions go to the knowledge graph. The agent doesn't think about which database to query. The memory layer abstracts that. This is the architecture that separates demos from deployable systems. Finally, let's see this integrated into an actual agent execution loop. Before the LLM generates a response, the memory system retrieves relevant context. After the response, the memory system stores the new interaction. The agent operates with full awareness of its history, relationships, and accumulated knowledge. But the complexity is hidden behind a clean interface. This is how you build agents that actually feel intelligent over time. Before you ship this, 3 critical considerations. First, privacy. Memory persists user data. You need clear retention policies and deletion capabilities. Implement a forget function that purges a user from all systems. Second, latency. Memory retrieval adds round trips. Run vector and graph queries in parallel. Set aggressive timeouts and have fallbacks for when memory systems are slow. Third, cost. Embeddings and LLM calls for extraction add up. Batch operations, cache frequent queries, and monitor your spend per user. Memory makes agents intelligent, but it's not free. You now understand the 4 pillars of AI agent memory. Short-term working memory manages the current context window with buffers, windows, and summarization. Long-term memory persists knowledge across sessions using vector embeddings and semantic search. Episodic memory adds the time dimension, when things happen and how they connect. And semantic memory captures structured knowledge in graphs for relationship reasoning. The architecture that ties them together is what separates a forgetful chatbot from an agent that truly learns. Next up, we're diving into agent planning and reasoning, how agents break down complex goals and execute multi-step strategies. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Drop a comment. What's your biggest challenge building agents that remember? I read every single one.